Alright guys, such comic again. I hope you're doing well and enjoying your day so far. Pred and Shotzzy keep going at it. Pred was calling out Shotzzy for getting turned on in yesterday's series, but Shotzzy with a fair few words for Pred, not just his search and destroy play, also his communication, among other factors, as this kind of friendly rivalry continues. But also, could OpTic and Falcons be a serious battle into the upcoming tournament, given nobody else seems to be putting up a fight right now? Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoy, subscribe if you're new as always, I would greatly appreciate it. Dashy giving Cap some gas here, right? Capsule, of course, now on Surge, making some impact back in the league, which is pretty good to see, like all of those Bush guys, apart from, as of yet, it's Prolute, who may or may not get signed between now and the end of the season. Not sure who's most likely on Bush to get picked up next. It could be Prolute, it could be Fire. Obviously, aBeZy just joined. Big Wake has been there for a little while now. But yeah, it's understandable that Bush are in the conversation. Cap's in, having some impact on that Surge team. We talked about all the implications earlier on today. One thing we do have to look at, though, is just OpTic's recent performance, why it's become so strong, and also where they might well go from here. So their map count this stage is pretty disgusting as well. They've had a ton of 3-0 victories. They have more 3-0s. I mean, they have like so many 3-0s since they brought in Mercules. I think the stat was that like 40%, 45% of their series are 3-0s since they've brought in Mercules, and a lot others than that they've also won. So 8-0 in stage 2 so far, 24 in 5 map counts. It's tough to look past them as, well, obviously the best team right now, but for the major, they will be on this evidence heavy favourites. And that's not just because they're playing good stuff, which they are, but it's also because nobody else seems to be so competitive. Huke has been a big part of their improvement over the last few weeks. He probably has been the part of their improvement, really. I think Dashy's played better as well. Mercules' numbers are actually going down, which he will, I'm sure, be very pleased about, because there aren't so many kills to go around on the map anymore for Merc, because Huke's farming them all up. And as he says, I wouldn't say we've mastered the game. You've always got to look to improve. I'm hoping, look, I am fed up of these maps, and I'm sure that after the major, we should get some map pool changes, you would wonder, and then the game will change probably quite significantly. But OpTic right now, at least in the respawn modes, the search and destroy has been very good as well, don't get me wrong. Like Huke's search yesterday against Ravens, again, he didn't have a great map, but Shotzzy had a really big takeover map. Mercules, Mercules I think was like 10 in 7 yesterday, so like he had another good search and destroy map, nothing crazy, but like just keeps ticking over with some very impressive numbers. And Huke's respawn play lately has been out of control. The overloads aren't always absolutely dominant, but in the hard point, it wasn't long ago we considered, and for understandable reasons, Gentlemates to be the best hardpoint team in the game. That has now turned around. What I do find impressive about their overall season is just their numbers are nothing outrageous, you know? Like Dashy's at a 1.01, Huke's at a 1.03, Shotzy's at a 1.04, Merc's at a 1.12. So very good numbers, but also very consistent, not like any crazy outliers here, not any, you know, mad dirty work play or whatever. Now, I guess if we just filter by the most recent series they play, like if I filter by the 8 they've played so far in these qualifiers, so we can see what they're cooking up here so far, you'll find it looks like this. Huke's at a 1.14, right? So you compare what he's looking at so far this stage compared to what he's looked like over the season. Even if you look at his search, it's still not great. He's sitting at a 0.85, but Merc's at a 1.7, so it is what it is. And in the respawns, at least in hardpoint, it's Huke who has the best numbers. I mean, look at the kills per 10 minutes. He's not getting much hill time. He's running around. Dashy sitting in the hill. This appears to be pretty gold standard right now. And in overload, Huke has near enough a 1.3, which is pretty ridiculous. So yeah, his improvement has been notable. Even Shotzzy, I think, because people say, oh, well, Shotzy's super inconsistent online, and you're not necessarily wrong. But also look at these numbers, right? Even though he has some off maps here or there, if you look at his last, even 5 series, you look at his last 7 series, 8 series, you'll see a pretty similar story of Shotzzy. Like, that's pretty consistent, you know what I mean? So for all people criticize Shotzzy, and sometimes it's understandable, sometimes he does throw his life away for no reason, but you can always rely on him, certainly as the season goes on towards the end of the year, certainly on LAN, to be a serious force on the map, and that has not changed by any means. Couple of entertaining clips I'm going to share, one of which is from Pat here, listing off a load of classic players, what he describes as the heavy hitters from the previous era, although Octane doesn't agree that some of the names on that heavy hitter list are necessarily justified. But a couple of clips to share here between Pred and Shotzzy. Of course, good friends, you know, it's all banter really at the end of the day. But I thought it was interesting because we know that Falcons, their search and destroy has not been good, and they have struggled in that mode as of late. They've still won series by just not bothering with search, right? Like if we have a quick look here at the overall season standings and look at where Falcons line up in the season so far, all of this, of course, over on breakingpoint.gg as always. But if you look at their recent performances, their completed games, they've won, you know, 3-0s, 3-1s, but they are just a boycott search and destroy team. They're not a big fan of it lately. Their season numbers are pretty terrible. And as I say, if I just filter by the games that they've played so far this stint, their record in search, despite having a good stage so far, right? Like you look at these numbers, they've won a lot of decent series. But Cell has a 0.6 in search this stage. Pred has a 0.8, Exit has a 0.8, and their record is 2-6. So yeah, Falcons are pretty atrocious at search right now. If they could genuinely improve in that mode, I mean, look at the other modes. Cell's KD and Overload is more than double what it is in search, so pretty ridiculous. But an Overload in hard points, you know, their numbers look really good. Comparable to OpTic, honestly, not far off. But it's the search, which is just nowhere for them. So if their search got better, they could be something of a force, I think. They've had a pretty good stint so far. And given that the Gentlemates, FaZe, even maybe Toronto, but Thieves certainly aren't where they arguably should be. And we talked even yesterday that maybe Heretics are the second best team. I think Falcons should be licking their lips to say, you know what, there's a possibility here of going to the major and making a championship Sunday at the very least. So Prid and Shotzzy with a few thoughts either way.
Nep on a heater can do that.
Against who?
I'm just
Like,
saying.
Shotzy's done
bro,
against the best.
Typical. It's
Yeah,
pretty
but like,
typical
but
plays.
you're
Like,
talking, like, bro, what about versus good players?
Ain't be doing that versus good players though.
Yeah, he
He's
does.
in two
I
champs
don't
grand
be
finals the
seeing
last
that.
2
I don't-
years. Where the fuck
Bro,
have you been?
like, look at the names y'all are talking about, bro. Like, we're in, bro. What happened to like Apathy, Enable, Kenny, Trim, Karma, Formal, Scump, Octane, Slack, Pharaoh, Zuma, Attach, Replays, Clay, Priesta, Huke,
Who do you got
Classic,
it pulled up?
JCap,
You got
Don,
it, you got
Tip,
it.
Scraps,
You got it.
Rated, Zero, Parasite, Goonjar, Dashy, Looney, TJHaLy, Gunless, Slasher, Saints, Aqua, Germ, Madcap, Bance. Like, bro, we used to have some heavy hitters. There you heavy hitters. Like, we're talking about Nero and Craze and Lurqxx. Like, what are we talking about,
You got
bro?
it.
We not even on the same,
Tommy,
like,
this is
not in the
Tommy.
same
Pat didn't put out
atmosphere.
Exodia, bro. You got
Yo,
it.
Pat
was reading
Bro, we are not, like, bro, what are we saying, bro? This is the Plumber League.
He said
No heavy hitters in this.
Do you have
Did I listen? I probably didn't say a word. That's too good.
cheating at here?
Who is that?
That is
Craze? Craze is a fucking freak. Who does that, dude? Bro, who does that?
Oh my god.
Like, what?
Oh my god, I'm actually crying. What the fuck? What? Did you have an internet hookup before this map or what, bro? What the fuck are you doing? Where do you think you went? Yeah.
I think he's a freak.
Yo! Wait, what did you say when you died? What did you say when
I don't think I said a word. I don't think I said a word. I was thinking.
He won door!
They streaked. AG's in laundry. Dude, AG, you are so lucky. Why is AG in laundry when they have a streak? Is he on tower? He's so lucky it actually worked out for him.
I was this close to fucking...
Bro, like... AG's actually on tower. I promise you, AG's a worse SSD player. I'm not even trolling. Clip this. Send it out everywhere. CDO hater, CDO drama, whatever the fuck. Fucking spawn up, whatever the fuck. Actually, wait, let me chill. Fuck. AG's insane in search. AG, the amount of blood he got at champs, holy fuck. He's actually insane. Oh my god, Accident. Hey, Accident. Tell AG, why is he in laundry when you have a streak? Actually, he has 3-0, bro. What am I saying? AG, or Accident, you're him, bro. Whew.
Listen to this, bro. This is one thing that's like very funny with AG, bro. Look at this. So the AG is coming out spawn, right? Hey, listen to his cops actually. Flood, everyone hold, okay. And he comes out spawn, right? And after dust screen, you should know like your teammate's been mapped. And AG's coming out spawn, knowing that like there's literally no one's flagging. And then he asked MC, which is in the hill, if they could flank. AG would randomly say like some checkout shit, and it would make me lag out.
Yo, one spawn here, one spawn 18. The two green, two green.
Listen to AG. He said, where are they? Where'd they go?
So no love lost between these two boys. I would like to see this become a bit more of a nice rivalry again on the main stage. It was obviously a talking point last season when the team collapsed and Pred was off OpTic and he was on the Falcons, whether OpTic and Falcons would service up some interesting matchups last season. Happened online, but not really so much on LAN, and OpTic went on, as we know, to dominate the end of the year. So this season, it would be nice if Falcons can at least get themselves in the mix. As I say, they should be pretty excited about the way that things are currently trending with, their 3-0 Toronto. Toronto made a serious run, but then Falcons just came out and 3-0'd them. Yeah, they lost in 5 to G2, but, these guys aren't stupid, right? They know their search and destroy is terrible. They need to put some work into search. If they do, then presumably they might become more competitive. I think it's worth noting that Kismet has this entire stage 3 sniper rifle kills, which is not many, right? Compare that to Super, for example. I guess we can have a look real quick. So I've just filtered by qualifiers for this stage. Super has 43 snipes. By comparison, right? So that is this stage. Super has a 1.5 in search with 19 first bloods and 43 sniper rifle kills, which I'm assuming is the most of anyone, although I'm sad to be corrected on that potentially. The point is, Falcons don't really snipe in search, but right now, based on what Dashy is doing and based on what Super is especially doing, these are numbers that are worth keeping in mind, right? So it's something for them to think about. I don't really know why Falcons are avoiding the snipe. It's not like it's that hard to use. There obviously is a skill gap in there for sure, but also it's something that Falcons, with the quality of players they have, is Kismet the best sniper? Could you put Cell on the sniper? I know that it was, I think Dom was talking about it. Dashy has 25 snipes by comparison, right? So this is a big part of current search and destroy. Like, search and destroy this year is being played with the sniper as a primary cause and effect. Scrap's been using it, Sib's been using it, as we know. So Dashy's at 25, Super's in the 40s, and combined, the entire team of Falcons have 3 snipes at the hands of Kismet. So they're not using it, right? They're not using it, and there's probably a correlation between that being a successful part of the team. So something for them to think about anyway. Maybe there is something that, Pred obviously, maybe that's not currently on the agenda for Pred and Celium and those guys over at Falcons, but it might be something that's worth considering. So very much interested to your thoughts on all of this stuff in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, take care, and I'll see you next time.
Oh my god, there's so many, I remember being in a hotel room, dude, and I think it was against you guys.
Yeah.
But we played you guys at Boke or some shit.
Yeah.
Instead of vetoing it,
Yeah,
and then
yeah. Yeah.
and it was like, he was like, Ray, I love you, Ray, as a coach.
That's why I fucking love you. You're my fucking coach, right? And so I'm gonna trust you and take your word for it. That's it. That's just plain and simple. I'm gonna take your word for it.
Yeah, she pictured the same exactly like that.
He literally said, I love you as a coach, but come on, Ray. Actually.